YouTube world? My name is Nicholas Montez, and you're watching my YouTube channel, The Teenage Movie Critic, and welcome back to another YouTube channel, everybody. I'm so excited to have y'all back here together again, and in today's video, we're going to be doing another celebration of television review, and this time we are talking about The Lion Guard. This is actually one of my favorite TV shows of all time. I mean it. This is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. I don't care if it's a Disney Junior show. I don't care if it's not Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul. I don't care about that. This is one of the best shows I've ever seen. Maybe it's just because I love Lion King. Maybe it's just because I love Disney. I don't know. I love this series. But before we get started, make sure to comment down below if you've seen Lion Guard. And as we do this review, it's going to be a little bit differently because I'm going to be going a lot into depth of it because I've watched this show many times. And it is just one of the best series I've ever watched. So, let's go ahead and get started talking about The Lion Guard. Okay, so as I'm going to talk about the story, but I'm basically going to tell you what it's about and also talk about what things I liked about this show in particular. So if you're unaware what The Lion Guard is, essentially it is a Disney Junior animated show that is a sort of sequel to The Lion King, to the original one, but takes place between the events of The Lion King 2, but before Kiara's first hunt, but after Kiara and Kovu meet in The Lion King 2 when they were cubs. So it takes place between that time, and it basically tells the story of King Simba and Queen Nala's younger son, Kion, their second cub, and this series tells the story of Kion leading the team called the Lion Guard. And, kind of one thing I want to talk about here. The thing about this series is the Lion King films are meant to tell the stories of the firstborn, and the firstborns are the future rulers of the Pride Lands, whether it's a boy or a girl. You're the future. If you're the firstborn, you're the next ruler of the Pride Lands, and that's what the Lion King films did, and they did it excellently. But what about the second cub? What is their role in the circle of life as this royal born? And their role is to lead the Lion Guard, which is what Kion is. And if you don't know what the Lion Guard is, it is the team that protects the Pride Lands and defends the circle of life. And according to tradition, I'm basically quoting what Simba said in the movie in Return of the Roar. The Lion Guard are made of the Pride Land's fiercest, bravest, fastest, strongest, and keenest of sight. And yeah, and that's basically what it is. Now, to kind of go back to something interesting, go back before Simba was born. Who was the king before Simba? Mufasa. And he was the firstborn, so that means, and also Mufasa had a brother, Scar. And yes, Scar had a brother. Scar was the leader of the Lion Guard. And another unique thing about the leader of the Lion Guard, the leader of the Lion Guard has the power of the Roar of the Elders, which is this big lion roar that you roar, and it basically puts all the lions of the Pride Lands past roar with you. And basically it's like the big superpower to blow enemies away too, the KO of it all. And, Scar loved using that power, but the power got to his head. Technically, he only got evil because of a snake scar that he got on his face. He got evil because of the scar on his face. And so basically, with all of that power, he started to think that he should be king instead of Mufasa, and so he wanted to use the Lion Guard to try to take down Mufasa, and they obviously did not listen, so he used the roar to destroy his own Lion Guard, but because he used the roar for evil, he lost the power of the roar completely. And so that's what Kion is trying to do. Once Simba told him all this, Kion throughout the entire series is trying to not be like Scar. He doesn't want to do that. He wants to be better. As this is the next Lion Guard, since Scar, he wants to be better than Scar. He doesn't want to become Scar. He wants to be better than that. And another interesting thing, his team isn't technically lions. the Lion Guard is made of lions, but technically it seems not made of lions. He's the only lion in the group. The team is made of a honey badger, a egret, a cheetah, and a hippo, and then a eagle, right, or another bird, Anga. And so yeah, that basically builds all the shenanigans, and you get a fun, great series. But to kind of talk about each and every one of the seasons, I just love the way that this show kind of expanded more of the Pride Lands. Where in Lion King films, we're just getting the lions and Timon and Pumbaa and Zazu. We don't really get any animal aspects of the characters. And with this series, they actually make certain animals of the Lion King universe characters. Where we get to see what elephants go through, as they were like big parts of helping after Scar was defeated. You also get to see like how the giraffes work, how the zebras work, and like it's all fun. But what I think what each season does is it explores different animals, but it also does the simple premise of the Lion Guard helping out animals during the Pride Lands, and it's not the Lion Guard just fighting off hyenas and chasing them off into the Outlands. They are actually doing stuff. They're helping animals that are stuck in trees or in bushes. If there's a rock slide or a mudslide, they have to clear stuff out. They gotta do a lot of stuff, so it's not just about stopping bad guys. It's about protecting the circle of life and protecting the animals that are in it. And I think that's just an interesting story. And that's what Season 1 is all about during the wet season. When you get into Season 2, the Lion Guard has to deal with protecting the Pride Lands during the dry season. And that brings into some casualties as there's mudslides, there's less food and water, and the heat slows everyone down. And it's like, I like the way they actually brought some realistic stuff into that show, and I would say Season 2 is my favorite season of the show. But not only that, but the Lion Guard also has to deal with the comeback of Scar. As the hyenas brought back Scar from the dead, as Kion can talk to Mufasa and give him for advice, the hyenas can talk to Scar for advice, and that creates this whole army of Outlanders. But even more importantly, they even do some epic things where how is Kion going to protect the Pride Lands during the dry season, but also defend the Pride Landers from Scar's reign? You have to get the Pride Landers to work together, and they actually do. And that's the great thing about this show, because they created characters in this world. They created characters from the background animals that we saw in the Lion King film. We were able to bring them together and see them protect the Pride Lands together against the Outlanders with crocodiles, jackals, and hyenas and vultures. And it's awesome. And it's fun to see them work together. And even we'll talk about that within the character side, but yeah, that's a story that's great. And then again, the Season 3, we got all the armies together. We're finally defeating Scar. Janja and the hyenas have a change of heart. But what exactly are we going to do for Season 3? Kion and Ono get hurt, so the Lion Guard and them have to leave the Pride Lands to get help, because there's no cure for them in the Pride Lands. And if you really think about it, this was kind of just a plot line they had to use, so that way they can make sense for Kion not to be in the Lion King 2. It makes kind of sense, but at the same time, it's also like, I mean, there's no cure in the Pride Lands, so you're making him travel all the way. It almost doesn't seem like he would last that long to travel all the way there to just get a cure and then have to travel all the way back. Like, it seems kind of weird if you really think about it, but what the third season does so well is it actually exits out of the Pride Lands, and we get to explore new environments. Of course, we've seen different animals in the Lion Guard with Makuja, with leopards, we've seen gorillas, but in Season 3 we get a lot more different animals. We get to see snow monkeys, we get to see dolphins, we get to see red pandas, we get to see all these different animals, and it's just fun, and it's really good. And then once we get to the Tree of Life, it's just this unique thing that feels different enough from the Pride Lands. And we also get all these different animals like polar bears and all this stuff, and it feels unique. And it's great that like the people that are at the Tree of Life, they go there and they happen to know, like other animals like Azad knows Queen Rani. That's fun. Like I like that. The Tree of Life is this place that you go from all over the world. Like the Pride Lands has its own little members, but the Tree of Life is connected to everywhere, and I love that. So, and once again, I like the world that they established with the Tree of Life. So, yeah, the story with this show and the way they did everything was pretty great. Another great thing about this show are, of course, the characters, and of course, we'll talk about our main Lion Guard characters, and with Kion, I just think he's a great character. As you see him, he's introduced as just this young cub playing baobab fruit with his best friend Bunga, and then you see him change, get this roar, start to lead a team, learn how to be a leader. But you also realize, even before he was leader of the Lion Guard, he's always been a leader, as he actually fought hyenas before he ever became leader of the Lion Guard. Like, that's an interesting story. Season 2, and I love that he's dealing with all these different challenges, but at the same time, he also, like in Season 3, he realizes, I just want to get my scar done. I need to get my scar healed so I can go back to Pride Lands and be the leader of the Lion Guard. But he realizes the roar came from here, and he wants to give it back. He doesn't need the roar to be leader of the Lion Guard, because he's already a leader. And so I think it was a nice arc. It doesn't fully work because I kind of wish that but we like Kion. Maybe it's just because I'm sad that the series is over. I kind of hope that this sort of series comes back because I love the Lion Guard, but it's okay. But we get our other characters with Bunga, and I love that they actually connected it with Timon and Pumbaa, that Timon and Pumbaa are like the uncles of Bunga. That's great. Fuli, this cheetah, who is the fastest, kind of unlikable, but you actually end up liking her throughout all the seasons, especially when she makes that relationship with the antelope. That was my favorite. Of all the relationships, that's my favorite one. Beshti, one of the best guys. If he was actually a real person, I would be best friends with him. I would love to be best friends with him. That treats everybody nice. And then Ono, he's the keenest of sight, but you also realize how much of a mighty hero he is. That he really is the Lion Guard. I love that arc, but I kind of feel like it was executed a bit better. And then, of course, you get our other characters, whether it's Mbuni, you get the elephants, you get, of course, our main Lion King characters with Simba, Nala. Honestly, most of these people I started watching here, Rob Lowe, I didn't know about him until I watched this show, and I also didn't know about Gabrielle Union until I watched her as Nala in this show. And they play their characters pretty good. They kind of play them a little bit differently, but I can kind of understand it because, their parent. Because I feel like in The Lion King 2, they play him a little bit differently, but still have their same characters. But you can see that they've matured in that film. And in this film, it feels like they're actual parents. They don't feel like younger versions of themselves. They actually feel like they're actual adults and actual parents. And I really enjoyed that. And then even all the other characters throughout the series, they're just fun. They're just fun little takes on this series. And that's just the thing I really loved about it. So, and then of course Anga is also badass. At first you're like, why is she here? But I love her. She's great. So yeah, I love the characters of this show. Next, I'm going to talk about the animation, and obviously, this show doesn't match the animation level of what the original Lion King was, but in the way to capture that same magic of what the Lion King did, it fit. It was colorful, it was still vibrant, and it still worked. Does it look as good? Is it still as gorgeous? No, but it's very colorful, and that's what it was supposed to bring. Because if you make it if you make the animation like kind of like dark, it's not gonna work. Which I feel like The Lion King 2 had a very big issue when trying to do the animation of that. But with this show, while it's not on the same level as the original Lion King, they found a way to make the animation colorful and vibrant like the original one. So if it's at least colorful and vibrant, I'm okay with it. And the final thing we'll talk about here are, of course, the songs and music. I'm literally rewatching the season 3, episode 1, where basically get the opening scene of Till the Pride Lands End, Till the Pride Lands End. Oh, and I think one thing, since we're talking about music, there are so many great songs in here. I mean, Zukazama, especially in, like, the Return of the Roar movie, like, there are some zingers there. But I think what also just, Bo Black, the one that makes that, that sings these songs for some of the songs in the series, he's a gift. He's a gift to this series. I love Bo Black for gifting us these songs. It's a good day to have some fun, to run and play. Oh, sun so high, so that is on the way. Oh. Or even like the look out, here comes the lion guard. Like, oh my gosh, I'm getting nostalgia. I miss those times. And then also watching Jessie in 2019 when Cameron Boyce passed away. I know that's a random memory. I'm sorry to bring that up. I just happened to think of that memory when I thought of that. I don't know why. But, this show is great. If you're a fan of Lion King, I think you'll enjoy this. I don't know if you'll love it like me, but you'll enjoy it. That is my Celebration of Cinema review, my television review for The Lion Guard. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you like, comment, and subscribe. All my social media stuff is in the about section over there. And I'll see you guys in the next section. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm so sorry. And, bye-bye.